Thanks for watching The Sean Campbell Show. Catch us each Thursday at 4:30 Pacific Standard Time on Facebook.
Hey everybody, it's Sean Campbell, The Sean Campbell Show. Thank you for joining today. Let me get the right banner. Where did I go? I know what I did wrong with that banner. It's not transparent. One of these days, one of these episodes, I'll get everything done right and it'll look good. So let me get rid of that banner. I don't want it. There we go. So thanks for joining. Appreciate it. Episode 2, we are going to go over Instagram and Canva today. And the reason why I wanted to throw in Canva today was really because for me personally, it's kind of my secret weapon as far as it goes. So I think you're going to get just as much, if not more, from the Canva part of this as the Instagram part. I got some really good stuff for your Instagram. I really do. And I think at the end, as we did last week, I'm going to go over the Q&A. But most of your questions are going to be answered. I almost spilled my water. Almost all the questions will be answered anyway. We'll go over all the Q&A. If you have any questions, please post them in the comments. I can see the comments. In fact, if you're watching right now, give me a hi. Let me know you're out there so I can kind of see the comments, making sure everything's okay. So I appreciate that. Also, while I'm thinking about it, we got the little banner right there. So there's if you have questions that maybe you don't want to post publicly, but you want to get to me anyway during the show, text them to me. Hi, Cindy. How are you? Text them to me during the show. If you don't want to put them in the comments and rather kind of keep them anonymous, that's fine. There really are no bad questions. I promise you that. Hey, Donna. How are you? There are no bad questions. I'm sure as you watch this, you're going to have a few as we go. By all means, post them in the comments. The comments are working perfectly, so I'll keep up to that. But again, if you want to remain a little anonymous, check my number at the bottom of the ticker right there, and you can check them out as well. So Instagram and Canva. Instagram is a tremendous platform, big platform that you could really complement your the audience that follows you on Facebook and other platforms. It's a real, hey Crystal, how are you? Thank you for joining. Appreciate it. It's really a platform in which you can grow a lot quicker than your likes on Facebook. But let me put an asterisk by that. Your likes on Facebook, as we spoke about last week, and as I always preach about, it's not as important as your reach and engagement and the amount of impressions you're making, which all contributes to your brand awareness, right? If you think about your complete social media marketing program, think of it as like pieces of the puzzle. Facebook provides a lot of value and information, which I spoke a lot about last week, and we kind of like glossed over Instagram, to be honest, compared to the amount of information I have for you today. But Instagram, it's really the opportunity to get a lot of impressions out there, to reach a lot of new people out there. I'm going to pre-warn everybody that watches this. There is a lot of work to really get your Instagram account going up and just making it explode and getting a lot of followers and a lot of engagement. But again, remember last week, the amount of reach and the amount of impressions it takes in today's era, just round it up to about 20 before somebody realizes who you are and what you're all about. Okay, it takes about 20 impressions, whether they see you on social media, whether they see an ad for you elsewhere, whether they meet you in passing or whatever. I mean, it takes about 20 impressions to make digitally before somebody really realizes what your brand is and who you're all about. Canva is a way that one of Donna's questions was, how do you compete with the big boys of Canva? I mean, Instagram's a way in which you could really do well without spending any budget. But I pre-warn you, it's going to take a lot of work. I'm not going to like sugarcoat it and whatever. I'm kind of glad I'm doing this presentation through virtually, because when I've done Instagram presentations in person, and I tell them how many times they should post and about the hashtags, I can hear the and I don't want to and stuff like that. I could feel it, but I won't have to hear it from you guys today. So, so again, we're going to talk about Instagram and Canva. If you're not familiar with Canva, you'll know a lot about it here pretty soon. So, let's get to it. Instagram. So, how many times a day? And then I know a few people ask that, but I want to start with that. How many times a day optimally are you really expected to post on Instagram? Well, if you want to make an impact, or if you don't want to make an impact, post a couple times a week. But if you really want to make an impact, I mean, 2 or 3 times a day. I think I heard the first and the ers right now. So yeah, 2 or 3 times a day. Okay. And I promise you, once we get to Canva, those 2 or 3 times a day will seem a lot more attainable and a lot more doable. Okay. So just kind of take all this stuff in. Did I get bombarded with questions when I did the in person, Diane? When I did the Instagram, it was question after question after question. So I'm prepared for it. But another thing that I'm not going to miss are your guys' eye rolls. There's a friend of mine, Michelle, if she joins or watches sometime, the queen of eye rolls. I don't have to see the eye rolls. I'm just passing along useful information here. I'm just giving you the tools and the information so you guys could thrive on Instagram. Okay. But if you want to put an eye roll in there, just give me an emoji. Every time I say something about Instagram that you don't like and you want to roll your eyes, give me an emoji in the comments so I could at least, imagine it. So 2 to 3 times a day. We're going to go over a lot about hashtags and how to find the proper hashtags. What is a hashtag? It's a great question. Again, there are no bad questions. Okay. I understand each one of you are busy running your business, right? You don't have time to, keep up on social media and all the different nuances and all the different tools and platforms and this and that. That's my job for you. Okay. So we're going to talk a lot about that. Hashtags, GIFs, locationable. Okay, so on Instagram, and it was something I was going to share on screen, but honestly, it's one of those platforms that is strictly, mostly I should say, useful on your phone. So as I go through this, take some notes, ask me later, ask me any questions to go through this, but it's really not something that I could really show. I'm not really equipped yet to show you that well on the phone yet. Okay. So, but you're going to get the vernacular down. You're going to get the notes down. What is a hashtag? Hashtag, what is a hashtag? I love that. But basically with Instagram, okay, Instagram is all images and pictures, right? You can't really share, a third party content. You can't really write. You can't really write a blog per se. If you put that blog on a picture and you shared a bunch of pictures, maybe it was a short blog, then maybe you could share, I think it's up to 8 to 10 pictures like that. That might be doable, but no one would ever read it. It's okay in the copy of the Instagram to write a lot about what your picture says. Okay, I'm going to use Donna as an example to try to answer her question that's coming up. How do you compete as a small business against the big businesses with Instagram, right? And does a picture of what Donna does, she assists people who need their ACs in their cars, which we all do, ACs in our cars, repaired or fixed or even replaced, if I remember right, an AC parts, air conditioning parts for your car. So how do you translate that into Instagram, right? If a cool car comes in, something from the 50s or 60s, you can snap a picture of that with the owner's permission, maybe get him in there. You can do more than one picture. You can upload 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pictures, and you could scroll through those pictures. But you can kind of make up for just what that picture may or may not, be able to communicate into the copy. A lot of people, including myself, honestly, I write very short copy in Instagram, but it's okay to write a paragraph or two to explain what that photo is all about. A car comes in that's, a 1957 Chevy, right? And Donna wants to say, hey, we had the pleasure of assisting this person with this unbelievable classic today. It's our honor. She could put a picture of the car, maybe a few shots of the car, maybe, a picture of some of the parts that came in before they put it in. You're kind of telling that story and going a little nostalgic right there, really, but really kind of put in a paragraph. Hey, we had the honor of assisting Mr. So and so. He's had this car for 40 plus years, and really tell that story with those images. You'll probably get a lot of likes just because it's a rare car that came in. But as you tell your story throughout the day, and this goes for everybody that's kind of someone melting in heat. Yeah. I don't know if 57 Chevys even had ACs. I might be totally wrong with that, right? But tell the story of something that was unusual that came in, right? Or maybe show an AC that hadn't been serviced after you took it out, and what that air conditioner looks like if you don't service it, right? There's nothing more than, if you, I don't know, again, I'm just kind of throwing some ideas out there. Maybe that AC is, you haven't been turned on in 8 years and it's all whatever and was never maintained. Show a picture of what an AC, car's AC looks like if you had to maintain it and why it doesn't work. You could do video on Instagram. We'll get into that pretty soon as well. But think of Instagram as your opportunity to tell your story in images and in pictures. But don't be afraid in that copy of Instagram to tell a paragraph or two, the story behind the story behind that picture. Okay. A lot of people, I'll include myself, too many times I write maybe one or two sentences with my picture and just follow it up with my hashtags. But more and more, I'm seeing a lot of the influencers on Instagram really get involved in writing good, thorough copy in that. So kind of that's the first thing I want everybody to think of is, yes, it's for images and pictures, but no, you don't have to be short in the copy by no means. Okay. Another thing is you have to keep in mind that links in your copy will not work. Okay. You can't put a link in your copy and say, hey, go check out my website, go to this, landing page for whatever. You kind of have to put that in your bio of the Instagram and say, refer back to my bio and put that link in your bio. The link in your bio will work. Okay. So if you want to drive people maybe to your website and you have maybe a campaign or a series of pictures that are getting people back to your website, you could put your website in the copy. I'm not saying that. Like I could say, hey, go check out my website at cmgsocialmedia.com, but they won't be able to click on it in the copy of Instagram. Okay. I'll have to say, check out my bio because that link is going to be in your bio. Okay. So I hope I explained that well enough. The more you utilize Instagram's tools, the more you utilize stories, the more you utilize the hashtag. So we'll get to that pretty soon. The more you put your location down, again, if you're a mechanic or if you're, Diane, if you're working from your home office or whatever, right? The more you tag where you're at, again, that's more exposure for your business. I do that a lot in my posts, so it says, Sean Campbell at Campbell Marketing Group. No matter if it's an image pertaining to my office or not, I'm always tagging myself, or checking in, I should say, checking in as if I am here at my office. Okay. So utilize the check-in on your stories itself. There's a ton. I want to see if I can't get to that. There's a ton of opportunities to use a lot of different tools in that, right? So your stories are going to be in the upper right at that little camera. Okay. And if you see up here, you kind of see an image of me, unfortunately, on that. But there's, if you just click on a picture that you want to share, like say you wanted to share, if I wanted to share if you see that or not. A picture of my donut on my super coffee this morning. Up here in there's a little sticker up top. You click on that, and that's where, you can't really see that well. But right here is where you could check in with your location. You could tag somebody else. You can even hashtag your stories, which is a great idea. There's a lot of other stuff. If you watch my stories on the Sean Campbell Show, you could put a countdown into an event. They have a countdown. They have gifts in here. They have all kinds of stuff you can do to kind of spruce up that story and just make them a little bit more interesting. Polls are another thing that I do a lot, and you can do that in stories. Again, it doesn't always need to be business related in your stories. Yes, you are, reaching out to your audience, and it's your opportunity to hear your audience and what they want and what they want to talk about and what gets them engaged. But even, like I spoke of last week, you could put a poll out there randomly, and, what do you like on your burger, or what do you like? Is mayonnaise acceptable for your French fries? Yes or no? Just something to keep that engagement, or boost that engagement, so you become more and more and more top of mind. Your brand awareness increases. How long do stories last? That's a good question, because stories last, I believe it's like 10 to 12 seconds. I think it changed within the last year or so. But think of it as like a 10-second video clip. You could keep held down. Like if you're going to do a story, you're going to do a video as a story of yourself, a selfie, keep it down. It'll kind of roll over to the next one. So you could do a little 30-second clip, hold the button down in the middle of your phone to do your story and talk to it. As long as you hold it down, it'll kind of roll it down. So it's actually kind of 3 stories in one, so to speak. I see a lot of people do that. So you're just kind of holding the button down. You're doing a video of yourself. You're doing a selfie. You're telling, hey, I got to sell. I got this going on. I got a big event. And you can't say it in 10 seconds, but it's going to take 20 or 30 seconds. It'll just roll over. So it's actually 3 kind of stories all kind of put together, kind of broken up into 10-second clips. So if it's just a picture, right, and you tag somebody or you check in on your location and put a poll, it's going to be a little 10-second clip on that story. Okay, I think it's 10 seconds. So basically, stories was, they kind of had the same features as Snapchat back then. That kind of leads us into Reels on Instagram. Reels is just like TikTok, basically. It's TikTok within Instagram. It's a quick little, I forgot, less than 10-second video clip. You can have fun with it. A lot of people dance around. They use the same reason as TikTok. Honestly, I haven't used it, but if you're going to use it, start using it now. If you're good at TikTok, just kind of roll that over into the same strategy. Okay. Is it better to do one 30-second video? If I had that 30-second video, Diane, I would do that 30-second video as a post rather than 3 stories in a row. Okay. That's what I would do. Okay. But if you get a lot of people that watch your stories, or maybe you have a lot of posts kind of scheduled out for the week, but you have nothing in your stories, do both. Have a 30-second clip, and then do that same clip, but do it as in your story as well. That way people, whether they catch your post or whether they catch the clip in your stories, they'll see that same content in each. Okay. I went over tagging. Tagging is important because it gives the other person you're tagging the opportunity to respond and reply back to you. It's just like Facebook. The more engagement you get, the more reach you'll get, the more likes you get. Unlike Facebook, where you're providing value and information, getting likes and followers on Instagram is a lot more important. And we're going to go over a strategy on that here pretty soon. One big thing that people, and I know everybody, I promise you, most of you are probably thinking this right now. You're overthinking it. I promise you're just overthinking it. Can I put this on Instagram? Can I not put this on Instagram? 9 times out of 10, just put it on Instagram. Just don't even think about it, unless it's, the things you should keep away from these days, right? If it's, politically sensitive, or, we all know those issues, right? But more times than not, don't even think about it. Just start posting on Instagram 2 to 3 times a day, and don't think about it. Don't worry about, will my audience like this? Will it won't? I know that I'm doing my job with my, promoting the show, because I'm getting some angry faces on my ads for this. And I love that, because now I'm reaching people. Now I'm reaching people. If I got all the happy faces and thumbs up and way to go and this and that, I'm not doing my job, right? As promoting this show, right? Don't worry, if you're doing any of your social media well, you're going to find haters out there. And that's an indication that you're doing well, okay? You may get, I used to get little comments on my Instagram posts from a marketing company outside the United States all the time. Great, I love it. That's because I'm getting a lot of reach, a lot of engagement. You'll find the haters out there. You'll find the people that give the negative comments. And quite honestly, I mean, if you reach somebody that doesn't like it, you don't want them as part of your tribe anyway. So it's not a big deal. Don't overthink it. Commit to a couple of posts every day. Commit to doing a couple of things on your story every day, and then we'll get into the hashtags pretty soon. Promise. But get used to using all the tools on Instagram and build up your audience. And we're going to get into some strategies on that too as well. Lots of terminology. Does Instagram offer a tutorial to get started? What that tutorial is it's just practice on it. It really is. If you never used it, a post is just a photo that you're posting. It's a lot like Facebook. Think of it like Facebook, Donna, except it's images instead of a lot of people just put words out there. It's the first is that it's the thing. Image is what, and pictures, it's what's captivating the people first. And I wish we could see this better. I'm gonna see if I could do something here. But like here, I mean, you can't really see it that well. But if you scroll through the news feed, it's the image and then the copy is going to be underneath. And more times than not, you got to see more to see what that copy is all about. Okay. The difference between professional and personal. It's a really good question. If you go to the settings, Diane, remind me later, or I'll go through the comments after the show and I'll send you a link to kind of set up your Instagram as a professional, as a business, I should say, business account. I highly recommend everybody who has a small business set up your Instagram as a business account, not just a personal account, because what you can do is link that to your business Facebook page and you'll get analytics on your Instagram. Very, very important to know who's engaging, what's your audience, what's the breakdown of the demographics, what was your reach, what were some of your best posts. You can't do that if it's just a personal account. You go to your settings, and I believe you scroll mostly to the bottom. You can set it up as a business account, and then it's going to ask you to link it to your business Facebook page. Perfect. Okay, I'll send you the link as well, Donna. So, but yeah, you definitely want to, especially if you don't have an Instagram set up, you want to set it up as a business account and do it, first thing right away. Again, think of the images and the pictures as kind of the behind the scenes stuff when you run your daily business, tell your story. You don't have, a lot of people worry too much about their Instagram profile. When they go to the profile, all your posts are going to be underneath in rows 3 across, and as you go on, right? A lot of people worry too much that they want that to look like a gallery. Don't worry about that. Then you're overthinking what you're going to post. Does it fit my theme? I understand with some businesses, you kind of want to have maybe the same type of colors and the brightness and whatever. But don't think of it as a gallery. Don't overthink it. Don't think that, okay, I got a bunch of pictures with light colors. I can't put this one because it's at nighttime. But if it's, if it tells your story and if it's engaging and it's an interesting photo, but you don't post it because it doesn't fit the commonality of all your other photos, you're overthinking it. Don't worry if, as you see all your posts, and some people just think I need that to look like the art gallery. It does not. Okay. How are you going to do this? How are you going to post 2 or 3 times a day? Sometimes it's going to be spur of the moment. If a customer comes in or a car comes in or, something on the spur of the moment, a picture with a client, you're having coffee, having lunch and whatever. That stuff's going to happen. But a lot of stuff, a lot of times, and you, especially when you see Canva, you're going to be like, I can do all kinds of other stuff, right? But how do you do that? How do you, it's going to help you get your 2 or 3 posts a day. So what I do with all mine is I did it this morning. I kind of, for lack of a better term, I kind of batched it all, right? I did my next week's worth of posts. Okay, so I use Hootsuite. Okay, so that's another thing I'll give everybody a link to who wants that. Hootsuite, you could manage your Facebook, your Instagram, LinkedIn, and all your other platforms. But on Hootsuite, you can actually schedule out your posts for Instagram. If you go on Instagram and you put a post and you're ready to post something, there is an opportunity to schedule it out. Okay, that's why I'm recommending Hootsuite to schedule it out. And also I want to recommend Canva to give you some additional ideas for your posts as well. Okay. But that's what I do once a week, maybe once, every 2 weeks, I'll schedule out my next week or two worth of Instagram posts, knowing that I'm going to add to it as my day goes on most of the time. Okay. Your strategy. How are you going to grow your following? Just putting up pictures and putting some copy on it is not going to really do it. So here's some ideas. A lot of it has to do with engagement. Again, I think most of the people on right now and most people watching later are local businesses. So how do you do that? Okay, so when you go to Instagram, there's a little, like every other platform has, I believe it's up in the top right of the screen, there's a little search option. Okay, when you go to that search option, a great idea if you're a local business is to type in the name of the city that you're at. Okay, so go in there, type in Tucson, or Diane, are you in Denver right now, or where are you at? So type in where you're at in the business, type in where your business is located if you want to get a good, big local following. Then when you type in the name of the city you're in, about 3 options over to the right, just right underneath places, there's a place called places right there. So you type in places. So now what pops up in your, on all the posts that you're going to see are the most popular posts in that area in the last, I believe it's 24 hours. Okay. So again, if you want a good, big, strong local presence, you go to find search, type in the name of your city, that pops up, and then I think it's 3 over places. You click on places, and all the popular posts, recent posts, are going to pop up there. I know this is a lot of work following this, because then you're going to go through, and the ones that there may be some other small businesses, there may be some people that may fall in your category as potential customers. What you have to do is commit some time every day, go in and comment on their posts. Okay. Again, if you have a auto service place and one of the most popular posts from the day there in Tucson is a picture of a car show or another car, or whatever, go in there as the name of your business, because the profile is going to be under the name of your business, and comment, hey, it's a beautiful car, blah, blah, blah. Love it. Keep up the great posts. I love your account. Just reply to it. Start a conversation, so to speak, on Instagram. It seems like it's nothing, but you start doing that. You start doing that with the popular, accounts in your area. You're kind of using their influence, and other people are going to see that you commented in their stream. And it's not as spammy as you think. In Facebook, it's kind of spammy by doing that, right? But in Instagram, it's pretty common, especially with the more popular accounts. They get it all the time. You see a lot of comments on there. And the more you go in and the more you comment on the popular posts within your area, what you're really doing is hoping that you get them to follow you back, right? Then they start following you, then they start engaging with you. Then the next time they need your service or your products, you're more top of mind. Again, it's a lot of work. It takes some commitment to do it every day. And I know most of you are going to write it down and do it for a couple of days. But Instagram is something that you got to kind of work at it for a few minutes every day. And I promise you, once you start doing it a few minutes every day, it becomes kind of addicting. So it's not as hard as you think once you get the hang of it, and once you start getting some engagement and creating some of your own brand awareness with it. Okay. So again, local business, search the name of your city, scroll over, look over at the top, go to places, and it'll give you all the most popular accounts, the most popular posts. Start commenting on some of those posts. Okay. Get your name out there. For me, one of the strategies I kind of fell into, oh, you're in Parker. So Diane, go on the top. You may have to put Parker, Colorado, or something like that up in there, and then go to places to see what comes up. Okay. Um, I kind of ran an experiment with this show. I ran an experiment with this show. In fact, I what did I do? 3 or 4 posts at just $1 a day. You know, there's a little boost button or a promote button on Instagram. I went in there for 20 days. I put $20 down, so it was $1 a day for all these posts. And my reach and engagement and people following me after that grew very, very nicely. Okay, so you're getting an average of 50 new followers a day. That's phenomenal, Diane. Phenomenal. Keep that up. But that was a way, so I was putting $1 a day on a few of my posts. So it came out to a few dollars a day for about 20 days, and my reach and engagement number of followers went very, very nicely. But you really, really have to reply to all the people that are commenting on your posts as well. Okay. Instagram, like Facebook, is going to really reward engaging posts that are getting a lot of action on it. Okay. We're going to get into hashtags right now. We're into hashtags and kind of define a hashtag. I'm never good at defining a hashtag, for one. Okay. But a hashtag is basically, think of it as a keyword related to your industry that your potential audience would follow on a platform. Okay. So myself, being in social media, a way overly used hashtag for me is marketing. And I'll admit I use it too much. I'm going to explain why it's overly used. But nonetheless, that's a word. If someone's going to, it relates to my content, it relates to my business. Hashtag marketing is a way theoretically to find me. But I'll get into the reason why I shouldn't be using it, but I use it way too much. But just to give an example, right? Another hashtag for me would be maybe social media marketing, all one word. So it's hashtag social media marketing would be one. Or maybe again for me would be relevant to my business and what I do would be hashtag Tucson business, right? Because I'm here in Tucson, I'm a business, or Tucson small business. Okay. If you are if you're a florist, okay, hashtag roses are red, hashtag flowers, hashtag florist, hashtag, house plants, stuff like that. Okay. So I'm just kind of give you an idea of what a hashtag is. It's a keyword that relates to your business, relates to your industry, and relates to your the service or product that you're offering. Okay. However, given that, you don't want to use hashtags that are overly popular. And again, you could find on Instagram easily. Again, go to search. And for me, if I was to go to search, the type of marketing up there. But instead of going to places, I go to tags. And if I was to go to marketing, go to tags, which are short for hashtags in this case, right? You would probably see like 2 to 3 million posts, in recent posts, I believe it's 24 hours, that had that hashtag of marketing on there, right? So I shouldn't be using that unless I'm a super tremendously huge business that's got hundreds of thousands of followers, then it's relevant for me. But I'm competing by using hashtag marketing on my content with content that's super ultra popular. So the trick is not to use a hashtag that has over 1 million, that's been posted over 1 million times in the last day or so, right? And it'll show you that. Again, go to search. Again, if you're an auto mechanic, put in hashtag auto mechanic and see how many times that was used in the last 24 hours on Instagram. If it's over 1 million, you don't want to use it. If it's around 500,000 times or less, then you have a way better chance of someone finding your post because it's not used over too much. In fact, especially if you're a local business, if you use hashtag Tucson, for example, you may want to check out to see how many times that's been used. And if it's over 500,000 times and you put hashtag Tucson on your Instagram post, you may not even be found within your area. Okay. So you kind of have to use hashtags that are not overly used, but in that 500,000 range or so. And I would say probably less if you really want to strike locally. I've heard 3 hashtags with 1 million. No, you don't want to do that. So, I mean, if it's working for you, Diane, then then you're probably complementing it with a lot of the others. But if you're doing, here's one thing: if it's working for you and if you're getting 50 new followers a day, then I would suggest to keep doing it. But really, I mean, you shouldn't really use anything over 1 million. Okay, maybe 1 at the most. I would say just 1. Okay. Do not use irrelevant hashtags. Sometimes 6. I need to hustle to get to Canva. Don't use irrelevant hashtags. Again, if you're a florist, don't use hashtag dog groomer. It doesn't pertain to you. Think logically, with your hashtags. Again, I'm never going to hashtag, Ferrari driver as a social media. Don't like Ferraris anyway. Don't use hashtags that are in your industry jargon. That's a big one that, people may misuse. If you fix computers and you put some type of computer jargon as a hashtag, your audience does not know what you're talking about. They won't find you. Do some hashtag research. Take some time to do this. And really what you want to do is find enough hashtags. And this is another debate, okay? And I hope I get some responses on this. This is another debate. Some people, and I kind of fall into the category of using about 12 to 15 hashtags, but there's still a lot of tremendous marketing agencies and marketers out there who use the full 30, right? I think the reason why they get away with a full 30, you can't use 31, it's got to be up to 30, is that they do a tremendous amount of work on researching their hashtags. And what they do is they kind of break up their 30 hashtags into those buckets, really buckets of 30. You don't want to use the same bucket of 30 every day if you want to use that strategy. Use it, then use another bucket of 30, then use another bucket of 30. But you're kind of getting where I'm going with this. That's a lot of hashtags to research potentially, right? So you don't want to kind of fall into what, it's kind of known as Instagram spam blocker, Instagram jail. If you use copy and paste of the same hashtags every post, it's going to block your reach, block your engagement, okay? What you want to do is maybe get blocks of 30 or your 15 or whatever's working for you and use different ones every single post. Now, another trick you can do is after a couple of days, go in and maybe delete all the hashtags you used on the post a day or two ago. That way it's not picking up. That way Instagram will see you're kind of using the same group of hashtags, same combination, et cetera, et cetera. So get those buckets of 15 or buckets of 30, and test it out, see what works for you. So those are kind of some really, really strong things. If you can commit, most of your work's going to be up front on this, I admit. But if you get that down and get into a habit of doing this, your Instagram will absolutely blow up. So I'm actually going to share my screen now as I pivot to Canva. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to make sure you guys see that. I'm going to make it big for you there. All right, so Canva, C-A-N-V-A. Sorry, C-A-N-V-A. In fact, I have a banner. I haven't been using my banners. There we go. Canva, your secret weapon for Instagram. And I'm going to kind of go back and forth and check the comments. Actually, I'm just going to stay right here. No, I have to. If I'm going to do this, I got to be on that screen. So I'm going to go back and forth and check on her comments. If I don't reply right away, keep them coming because I got to be on this screen to utilize it and show you what's going on. So there we go. So we're on Canva right now, and when I went to Canva, you could search for different types of posts. Again, just search Instagram posts and this will pop up. The first thing you'll see up in this area right here are all the templates. You can see there's a million different templates you could use, okay? A lot of different ideas right here. What I would do, is the first thing I would do is upload your logo. So you can kind of maybe watermark your logo and you'll see what I'm talking about here pretty soon. But just because you use one of these right here, make sure you kind of personalize it and don't just kind of throw in the words. Okay, so let me start with something simple. They even had a COVID related post for everybody to use. I'm gonna start with something simple right here. Okay, so say you wanted to utilize, this is just a template. You don't have to use what's in here. Obviously, you can kind of change the wording right here. You know, something that's relevant to your audience. Maybe it's a motivational thing. You can change this up here. It's very, very intuitive. Very, very intuitive. If you want to change the colors, click on this area back here. Your color options are up here. Change that to black. Change that to that. You can move this around. Okay, you could, just because you have a template doesn't mean it's set in stone. Okay, a lot of things you can do. Say you wanted to use this one right here. I've seen a lot of these used. These are kind of cool. Okay, so you could change the picture in here. Say you have your own picture. Or again, kind of going back to the florist thing. You can go over here, look at flowers. Instead of having the soccer player here, go up here and delete it. Delete the image, put in the flowers. There's your flowers. You know, give advice on how to take care of your flowers. You know, something right here, right? You don't want it black, you could change it to a different color, red, gray, pink, whatever. You could change this, put your business name down here. The really cool thing, I don't know if you guys caught this yet, okay? This right here obviously is an image. If you want to download it as a PNG, you could do that, right? Just by doing that, it'll be saved on your laptop or desktop, whatever you're using. But say you wanted this to be animated. If you animate it, then it's seen as a video, and if it's a video, you'll get more reach and engagement. So you can click on this. You want it to go black, then it's actually a video. It's an animation, but it's seen as a video through Facebook and Instagram's thing. Pan. If you're paying any attention to some of my stuff that I've done, I've used that a lot. The pop. So it gives you all these opportunities to make these little short little clips, short little videos. You want it to be longer than 5 seconds. You want it to be 12 seconds. And it does that. And it'll actually, if you click this, it'll show you, it'll actually play for 12 seconds. If you want a longer video, right? So all these things right here for you. Okay. I know I'm flying through this, but I hope this kind of jogs your creativity here, right? You could do, I like using something like that. It's kind of a Polaroid, kind of a old school. Again, you could change a picture. I wouldn't recommend using the picture they got in there. But click on the picture, click trash can, get rid of that. You can put a car in there, right? You can change the size of the car. Ton of things you can do with Canva. Now, if you have this, and really all Canva is just getting used to it. It's very, very intuitive. If you use any other kind of program before, you know, it's just take some time on a Saturday or Sunday morning and play around. You can't mess anything up, you know, you just can't. You know, all these little special effects, all these templates for you to use. I use this a lot for when I'm doing a post for the holidays for my clients. You know, with Labor Day coming up, This is kind of my secret weapon for creating all the Labor Day posts. Just kind of scroll through here and you get some ideas for Labor Day. That's weird. It's not giving me any Labor Day. Go back to templates. Another good thing about using the Instagram templates is that they're perfect for like other type of pages, other type of posts for Facebook and whatnot. Okay. Again, you could switch all this out. All templates you could use, and all these could complement your posts on Instagram. Okay. I know I flew through this. I was anticipating a little more time to get through this. But if I say I wanted my logo here, let's take a little bit. But always kind of brand what you're doing. There you go. Got my little logo there. Right. So you could download it right here, PNG. If you just want it 1, 2 pages, or both pages, download right here. So Canva also gives you an opportunity to create logos. You can create newsletters. You can create business cards. You can order business cards from Canva. There's just all kinds of stuff you can do, right? If you take the time to learn this could really save you a lot of time and really fill in a lot of those posts that, if you want to do 2 or 3 posts a day on Instagram, you could really, really get into creating a lot of these. You can create a lot of these in an hour. You can create, 15 or 20 of these. Maybe they have the same theme. Maybe there's 2 or 3 of them that you like. You want to give motivational. You want to give tips. You want to give inspiration. Maybe you took a bunch of pictures and just kind of put your logo on them. There's all kinds of stuff you can do. The more you use Canva, the more your creative side will come out on that. So let me stop the screen share. Okay. Whew. Yeah, it's not as complicated. You don't need to be an artist to utilize Canva at all. It does a lot of the work for you, Donna. It does a ton of the work for you. If you don't want to get overly creative, just use the same template, but just learn how to maybe change the colors into your colors that match your color theme for your business, right? But I would always highly recommend 1 or 2 things or both. Okay. No, it's not crazy expensive. I think I use the highest one, and I think I'm spending maybe $30, but I think they have one that's $10. That'll be perfect for any of you. Okay. I think it's like $10. Another thing that I didn't show you that is really kind of a secret weapon of mine, videos. This is amazing, right? If I wanted to do a video, it has all these stock videos. What you're seeing there, they have all these stock videos here. So if you want to do, Instagram posts of videos, you could do up to a minute, I believe, as a post. You can create all these videos. Go into video section. I think the video section is a little bit more, but you can create videos. I just started my. Oh, I didn't show you. Sorry about that. I gotta share my screen. I want to show you this. Gotta say all that over again. Videos. I mean, all kinds of videos. A crazy amount of the video library. I want to make sure you're seeing this. Yeah. So it's clocking right now because I'm streaming, but usually it works very, very tight. You want to, whoops. Say you do videos. And say you wanted, darn it. Say you wanted, I'm just going to put this right here. You wanted that video, and then you want another video down here. That's basically one video leading to another video. You can play it, and then you can have a video with all these. I mean, there's hundreds of thousands of little video clips that you could use. And if this video is too long, you could trim it down from 54 seconds to 6 seconds or whatever. If you want, if you're interested, I'm going to I'll send you a link to an ad I just started, and I created that ad, the video you see on that, from Canva. 99% of it from Canva. So yeah, Canva is super crazy. Create videos, the templates. One thing I was going to say is that going back to the colors, make sure you brand with the same colors. Somewhere, probably a smaller font. There's always a smaller font at the end. If not, it's really easy to add text to it. One, you want to be consistent. Don't use like 2 or 3 or 4 different fonts. You might think it looks nice, but it really doesn't. Maybe use one font, and then there's always like a monostat or like something, and then something light. Say it's Tahoma, then Tahoma Light. Use the same family, it's called, right? Use the same family on that. Put your website. It's not clickable, but put your website somewhere, right? Put your logo somewhere. Brand it so it's yours. There's a lot of, I cheat, flat out cheat. I buy templates that are business related, and I put my logo, the logo that you see on the top right there. I put my logo. I can't even point to it. Put that logo on all my Instagram stuff or my website. So even if I'm buying these templates, which are free from, or which are okay for me to use for Instagram, that's why I bought them. I always put my logo on it, like I did right now. So keep that in mind. Okay, so brand your stuff. More original photos honestly work better than stock photos. But if you invest in the more expensive Canva, and if you really want to get into doing some video for your business, I just showed you there's hundreds, if not thousands, of stock video that you can use, and it's really easy to trim. And I don't have time to show you, but there's actually music you can put underneath it as well. Okay, so you can create a really polished, video for your business. The drawback to it, though, it's a little, stock. It's commercial. It may not be as personable as you may like, especially if you're a local business. But nonetheless, I mean, I'm going to put my link to my ad in the comments, either tonight or tomorrow, so you could see what my video looks like. And I really kind of try to do it local with a little clip of Tucson at the end, and I try to find some local looking type of video on it. So yeah, Canva, honestly, not just for Instagram, but for Facebook, LinkedIn, just a bunch of us, across the board. Images, pictures, video. Canva really should be every small business owner's like best friend, especially if you want to really have an impact on Instagram and you're kind of struggling to take pictures throughout your day or whatever. Find 2 or 3 templates, find a couple themes. I know it's overly used, but maybe like a Throwback Thursday theme, maybe a Motivational Monday, or something that's related to your industry, right? Maybe there's, Classic Car Sunday or whatever it is. Be consistent, and that can fill you in, and you can have a common theme, Taco Tuesday or whatever it is, Wacky Wednesday, Friday Funnies. I do a Friday Funnies for a client, and I tell a nice, clean joke in there. It always gets, really good engagement. Okay. Instagram can help solve a lot of your problems as far as filling in good content that's relatable to your audience and that brands your business. And you don't, kind of takes a little bit of the pressure of remembering to take photos throughout your day. You can complement it very, very well. Okay, so just when the camera sign up, what were you clicking to edit the template colors? It's up at the top left side. It'll look like kind of a rainbow square at first. Click on your font or click on the area that's, that you want to change the color, and look up in the top left area and click on that. And then on the left side, the different color options will come out too. Okay. But definitely invest in Canva. Get to know it. It'll be one of your best friends from a marketing perspective. Okay. While I'm thinking about it, I have one more next week. I'm leaving it up to you guys what you want me to cover as far as social media or entrepreneurship. So give me some ideas of what you would like to learn about for next week. After that, I'm booked with a bunch of guests. Okay, so you got one more week to kind of give me what you want to hear, what you want to learn more about. Maybe you want to get more into Canva, a little more in depth than that. Maybe you want to learn about LinkedIn. I'm not going to do Twitter. Maybe you want to do Facebook ads. Just give me some ideas. Video. What do you guys want to learn about next week? Do you generally post your Instagram and Facebook as well, or post unique to each platform? Phenomenal question, Donnie. Phenomenal question. What I do if I have the same, I try to, for the most part, I try to keep my Instagram posts just as Instagram posts. But things that like this show, for example, I promote across all my platforms. But I try to get some Instagram posts that are just Instagram, um, just dedicated to Instagram, because I want to drive people there to get more following. So it's kind of unique content. In a great world, an ideal type of world, I would want somebody to follow me on Facebook because I provide value and information. What's he posting on Instagram? I want to follow there because it's different content. You know, what's he posting on LinkedIn or his YouTube channel? Because maybe there was some special nuggets over there. Obviously, there's going to be some videos and some stuff I share across all the platforms because I want to share with all my audience. But there's going to be some Instagram specific type of posts on there that you won't find on my Facebook, Twitter, or LinkedIn or YouTube. Does Canva allow you to store? Absolutely, Diane. Can't whatever you create on Canva, it saves. Up on the top right, give it a name, and if you download it, it'll save it. I don't even think you need to download it. I think it saves every few seconds. But whatever you create, Diane, on Canva, it saves for you. I can't show you mine because all my client stuff is on there, and I don't want my competitors to troll me and find out who my clients are, right? So, but you would like I have probably like 150, 200 templates and posts and videos and all that stuff in there. It saved it all. Saves it all. Any storage limit? I don't know, Diane. It hasn't given me a storage limit. But again, I think I'm paying like $29 a month. That's it. I don't think you'll need much more than maybe the $10 a month one. Crystal Joy, interested in learning more about Hootsuite and or LinkedIn. Crystal Joy, we're doing LinkedIn this week. You decided for us. We're doing LinkedIn. I love LinkedIn. There I am. I'm back. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Oh, thank you, Diane. Make sure. One thing I have to do when I'm streaming like this, because I'm streaming this on my YouTube live as well, is I got to turn off all my Wi-Fi around me. I froze. I wonder how I looked when I froze. I'll go check that out. When was it? Oh. Everybody. So Donna and Crystal Joy, and I got some questions for you now. So everybody that asked me a question, if you have any other questions, let me know. But you're going to be entered in a drawing for a $25 gift certificate tomorrow from Amazon. Okay. So MJ, I don't know if MJ is watching or not. MJ asked, how when find local people? Can't get that excited on LinkedIn. Don, you'll love LinkedIn, I promise. I'll tell some great jokes next week for you, Don. Developing